in 6.2, page 4, it says to find each product. In each case, neither factor is a monomial. So now we're talking about more than one being multiplied, which we're just going to take what we just did, distribution, and apply it twice. So if the x plus wasn't here, it was just 4 times this x minus 6, we would know what to do. We would distribute. In the same way, if the plus 4 wasn't here and it was just the x, we would know what to do. We would distribute and multiply those out. That is basically what we're doing. We're applying what I like to call double distribution. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean the parentheses there. Double distribution. In other words, you have 4 pairs of multiplication going on. And some of you might recall that this double distribution, might recall that cute little word that seemed to really stick, and this was one of those things that almost even became fun in mathematics because it was just easy to remember and it always worked out so nicely. It's also known as foiling. FOIL standing for first, outside, inside, last. Now section 3 really focuses on foiling, so we will just continue to kind of deal with it as double distribution so that we can move on to bigger ones like what's coming next, which will involve some triple distribution here. So in this double distribution, we're going to end up with 4 pairs. I like to draw the arrows so I can keep track. I also do the little finger point method so my eyes don't wander and I grab things that aren't there on the page. So I'm going to have x times 2 things, and then I'm going to have my 4 times 2 things. And the x is going to be multiplied by an x. It's also going to be multiplied by a negative 6. So really what my mind is doing is this is plus a negative 6. I'm applying that minus directly to the number. So the plus goes here and the negative 6 goes here. You don't have to do it this way, but I find that for those of us who struggle a little bit with negatives still, attaching that negative to the number solidifies where it's supposed to go. There's no question anymore. It's no longer guessing. Okay? Now for those of you that are solid on your minuses and pluses, positives and negatives, don't worry about doing this. Just do it the way you've always done because you've already got the skill. And we multiply that 4, and I'm going to multiply it by the x, and again, I leave the plus here. The 4 gets multiplied by the negative 6. And x times x is x squared. X times negative 6 is plus a negative 6, or just minus 6, plus 4x. 4 times negative 6 is a negative 24. And what you'll start to notice is that you will find some like terms. And the reason these are like terms is because the variable is exactly matching. They're both x's. They both have an exponent of 1. And those are allowed then to come together. So what you end up with is x squared. You've got negative 6x plus 4x, so that's a negative 2x or just a minus 2x. Either way, plus a negative 2 or minus 2x. And then the minus 24. Now eventually you'll get confident so you can do some of these steps in your head, but if anything is bugging you in terms of negatives, or you tend to drop a piece, you aren't sure, you're kind of guessing and testing, or you can't really keep track of it all until you get really good at it and this can become automatic, show these steps on your paper. It won't take long before you're able to just do them in your head and still be confident and correct. Let's look at number 72. What's different about this one? We already hinted at it. There's 3 terms, a trinomial difference, sorry. What's different about this one? There's 3 terms here. Does that change what we need to do? No. We still have to distribute each of the items in the first piece across the second polynomial, and everything in the bottom, or in the second piece, negative 1, also gets multiplied. Okay? And again, I'm talking about this as if it were a negative 1 because really subtracting 1 is adding a negative 1. And subtracting this 4a is adding a negative 4a, and that'll help you keep from making those errors with the negatives. Okay? So if we're doing 2 items times 3 items, we're really looking at 6 pairs. Okay, because we're going to multiply the 2a by 3 things, negative 1 by 3 things. That'll give us 6 pairs that we're doing here. So the 2a gets multiplied. Let's do that first here. So we've got 2a times something, plus another 2a times something, plus another 2a times something. And then we're going to have the negative 1 times something, and another second thing, and a third thing. So negative 1 is going to be multiplied by 3 things. So I'm just kind of writing out the distribution. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just trying to help you see it in a different way if it's been a problem for you before. So now I fill this in. Here's my a squared, here's my negative 4a, here's my 3. They also go over here. A squared, negative 4a, and the 3. And then from there you can combine things, multiplying each of these pairs. So the 2a times a squared, you've got a to the first. By definition, there's 3 of them, or you can recall that you need to add the exponents when you multiply same bases. So 2 to the 2a to the 1 plus 2, or 2a cubed, plus 2 times negative 4 is going to be a negative 8. A times a is a squared. The 1 plus 1 makes 2. Plus 2a times 3 is going to be 6a. Plus a negative 1 times a squared is going to be a minus a squared, or plus a negative a squared, however you want to think about that. Sorry about the writing mistake there. And you've got a negative 1 times a negative 4a, that's a positive 4a. And finally, negative 1 times 3, that's a negative 3, so plus a negative 3. Combining like terms, they have to have matching variables and exactly matching exponents of those variables. So 2a cubed is all by itself here. But the negative 8a squared is like terms with the negative a squared, which is like saying negative 1. So negative 8 minus 1, or negative 8 plus a negative 1, is going to be a negative 9a squared. And then we've got a 6a and a 4a, so that's going to be a positive 10a. And then our last piece, the plus a negative 3. And if you wanted to, you could write that as 2a cubed minus 9a squared plus 10a minus 3, recognizing that adding a negative is the same as subtracting. And when we come back to the bottom of the page, you can try number 70.